Welcome back to Twin Tarot. I'm Gary, and this is not David. So, lots of stuff going down in Los Angeles today. I just did a reading on the U.S. District Court Judge Charles Breyer ordering the National Guard to return to Gavin Newsom's control. But also in L.A., the Department of Homeland Security was having an event in the FBI headquarters in Los Angeles. And Kristi Noem was giving remarks on the Trump administration's response to the protests in Los Angeles. And it turned out that Senator Alex Padilla of California happened to be in the headquarter building at the same time for a separate briefing. And he found out that Kristi Noem was doing her little briefing. So he dropped in on it. And while she was making remarks, and I watched the video once, and she was just going on. It was the same trash that the Trump and the Republicans keep putting out there. Stand by. Yes, I just rewatched it. It's just as triggering the second time as it was the first time. She was just basically going on and on about, our ICE agents are getting spat at and rocks are being thrown at them, and people are being mean to us, and we're not going to go away. And Alex Padilla you could hear him starting to ask a question, and then a big kerfuffle. And basically, he was forcibly removed from the briefing area. Now, from what I saw, of course, they're on Kristi Noem. They're not showing him, but by the time they pan over to him, he's already got one officer kind of grabbing his arm, another one pushing him out the door. Kristi Noem's, her excuse was they thought he was an attacker. Okay, there was nothing that he was attacking with other than verbally asking a question, right? The police response was definitely over the top. Okay, it's like Trump and the Republicans have a no tolerance policy for dissent. It's like in these town hall meetings, if one person gets up and starts disagreeing with the person that's talking, they get kicked out, boot to the throat, dragged out in handcuffs, and tossed out in the street, which is essentially what they did with Senator Padilla. He was forcibly removed. He was handcuffed. There was like 3-4 guys on him out in the hallway handcuffing him. I mean, there was no attempt at de-escalation. The only attempt at de-escalation was tossing his ass out of the room and then handcuffing him. Ready, shoot, aim type of a process, right? And after he was released, he was not detained, although when you're handcuffed, to me, that's being detained, but okay. He said he wasn't arrested, he wasn't detained, but he had a great point, which is, if this is how you treat a senator, a U.S. senator, how do you think these agents are treating these farm workers and these cooks and these day laborers when they're out there trying to round them up and arrest them? And to me, that's a great point. There's no, like I said, there was no attempt at de-escalation here. This was, we are in charge and we will not hear dissent. I wasn't there, so I can't honestly say that whether he was being viewed as a threat, that he was an attacker. I guess if you were there, maybe you'd have a better idea. But it's not like he was shouting and throwing stuff around and creating a big disturbance. You hear him asking a question, and it's in kind of a normal voice. To the point where Kristi Noem just kept talking. She just basically ignored him. So it wasn't so loud and so disruptive that she had to break stride. Even while they're dragging her out there, she just kept going. What a cold-hearted bitch. It's like, this is someone that killed a puppy because it was acting like a puppy. God, someone married that. That's just so, ugh. Okay, so I want to take a look at the energy around the event that happened. And this is just, I'm really triggered by this. I'm not normally triggered, but this one gets my anger up so much. Because I just detest that woman, and I detest this administration, and I detest how they're doing things. It's just, they're so contemptible. All right, so let's look at the energy around this. Take a deep breath. So what do we need to know about what was happening in this Department of Homeland Security event in LA? All right. Foundation of the reading is the Two of Pentacles. This is just playing to the MAGA base. If you could hear what she was saying, it's at one point, yes, I agree. Officer safety is important, but she goes on to not only talk about the officer safety, but then she starts blaming it on, basically socialists and the Biden regime and all this. It's just basically all the MAGA talking points. It wasn't a briefing. It was like a campaign rally. That's what it was. The cross is the magician trying to make something out of nothing. Much ado about nothing. Yeah, the protests are serious. There's lots of people out there. Have there been instances of violence? Yes, there have. But it's not like the way they're trying to sell it. Like the whole city's in flames, and that the only reason why the city is still standing up is because Dear Leader sent in several thousand National Guard troops. Just like Trump, you create a problem, and then you pat yourself on the back for coming up with a solution to your own problem. The energy underneath it is the Empress, just doing the things that they need to do to make Trump look good and convince MAGA that America is going to be great because of their actions. When really what they should be doing is taking care of the citizens there. In the past, you've got the Four of Pentacles. This is just Trump trying to get everything his way. This is just feeding the Trump machine. Current energy is Justice. It's ironic because I don't know the timing of Charles Breyer's court order relative to Kristi Noem's press briefing there to her event in LA. But the court order came out saying that no, National Guard troops need to be under the control of Governor Newsom, not under Donald Trump. Overarching energy is the Page of Wands. New messaging coming forth. The message is changing here. This, in the other reading, it felt like maybe we were kind of coming to the end of the cycle, and maybe this is yet another straw on that camel's back where we're finally coming to the end, where the truth and people are starting to come around to this. The message is going to start changing. The lesson to be learned is the King of Pentacles. Just because you're wealthy doesn't mean you always get what you want. But in this case, if we're just looking at Kristi Noem and the briefing, they're just doing the bidding of Trump, putting out his message. Despite the fact that the justice system says it's illegal. Outcome is Temperance. That there's going to be a balance that comes out of this. That this is maybe going to calm some things down. It's terrible. It's very triggering what Alex Padilla went through. All right, and I'm really upset by it. I'm still upset by it. Dave was so upset by it. I don't think he's even reading tonight. I'll have to see if he put anything on his channel. He's just what happened with Israel launching attacks into Iran, and with what Senator Padilla went through. Dave's really feels these things. He really takes it to heart. He is not liking the timeline right now, and I gotta admit, I'm not very thrilled about this either. So I want to drill a little more into this. The Temperance card. I get the feeling that we're at the end of the cycle. So is this the beginning of the end of this? In other words, are we turning the corner finally? Are people starting to figure out finally? Because there's a lot of folks that vote that were immigrants that, from Central America, South America, who were very conservative, that voted for Trump because they figured the leopard was going to eat someone else's face, and it's eating their faces now. And they're seeing these ICE agents coming in here and just rounding people up. Are we turning the corner? Are we there? Are these the events that help us turn the corner? Foundation, the Five of Pentacles, the wealthy people have one set of rules, everyone else gets left out in the cold. Are you in the club or not? And if you have color in your skin, you're probably not in the club. The challenge, once again, there's our outcome, the Temperance card. We need to find a balance. We're out of balance net right now. Trump is getting his way, people are suffering, and we're out of balance. Energy underneath it is Ten of Cups, that happy family. Can't we all just get along? There's plenty in the United States for all of us. We can all learn to live together as a family. And I guess that's the lesson. It's a shame that's not the lesson to be learned, because that really is the lesson to be learned here. But it's the energy underneath it, is that people are seeing, this isn't making families happy. I guess if you're a MAGA, super MAGA, you're happy as hell, but the rest of us aren't. In the past, you got the Justice card. So once again, the district court, Charles Breyer, basically saying, no, it's an overreach. And the court cases, Trump keeps losing the court cases. There's your Page of Wands again. We're getting a new, the message is going to start to change. New actions are going to be taken. Overarching energy is a Chariot. Things will start moving. It's going to be slow. The change is slow. The messaging is slow, but we will start making progress. Lesson to be learned is the Hierophant. The government has overstepped, and it's out of balance. And new messaging is going to come that's going to start moving the government back into balance. But it's not the Wheel of Fortune is the outcome. It's still, the future is still wide open. Anything can still happen. It's not a done deal yet. We're getting the lessons we need to learn. So what that tells me, what the outcome of the Wheel of Fortune is, we're probably on the right path. I think when we did the reading with Libby, she said that we were halfway through that cesspool, and you may as well just keep going, because you're going to be in the cesspool just as long, whether you keep going forward or you go back. I think what that Wheel of Fortune is saying is that even though we're going to continue to move forward with the Chariot, we're not so far down the path that we see the light. And we have to be careful, and we have to be mindful. And as long as we're careful and we're mindful and we keep learning our lessons, we'll get out the other side of this. Okay, let's get a clarifier on the Wheel of Fortune. Let's see if I got that right. So what's the Wheel of Fortune trying to tell us? It's like, okay, we're still in nightmare situations, causing a lot of anxiety. It's all the MAGA crazy is causing this. And Trump's selfish actions to either enrich himself or do whatever it takes to stay in power, to stay ingratiated to MAGA. In the past, we got the Death card. It's coming to an end. This is the end of the cycle. Current energy is the Queen of Wands, but there's a lot of actions that need to be taken. There's a lot of things that we still need to do. King of Swords, harsh truth about this. It's not only do we have the actions need to get people to face the truth and stop buying into the rhetoric. Man, how do we do that? The Wheel of Fortune, right? So this is, if we want to get to the other side, we got to put an end to this. We got to start taking action. We got to face the truth. We got to stop taking away the things that are valuable to people. Stop trying to steal things away from people. And then outcome is the Hangman. And look at this from a different perspective. So we're getting there. I tend, these cars make me feel like Libby's right. We're halfway there. We just got to keep learning the lesson and keep busy. And, part of that is these protests. With the June 14th, No King's Day. It's good to get out there and let your voice be heard. And standing up, these folks that are protesting in LA, standing up for the people in their neighborhood. It takes a lot of guts and takes a lot of courage to do that, especially in the face of several thousand National Guardsmen out there that you don't know how they're going to react. They're not trained in this. Anyways, that's all I got for you. This is really a very triggering reading, and I'm very disturbed by it. I may put this one up for Friday and bump my U.S. District Court Judge Charles Breyer to Saturday. But anyways, I hope you're all having a good night. Please take good care of yourself. We're going to get through this. It's, it just, sometimes you just wonder, right? Why did we sign up for this? So thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe and hit the bell. We put out a video every night at midnight. And leave a comment. I read them all and respond to many. And I'm just going to give a couple of shout outs here I've exhausted my list. And let's just give out some shout outs to people who've left comments. So Christina Hernandez, who has left many comments. She just says, hi, David and Gary. Love watching you both. Blessings to you both. I'm like, thank you, Christina. I truly appreciate that. And you get a page of wands. Thank you for that nice message. And then Broomhag. Irene Garner. Hi, Broomhag Irene Garner. She just said that I bought the same deck that Gary has. Yay! She figured out how to shuffle them. Oh, right on. I'm going to have to finish reading your comment. Thank you so much. I look forward to your shuffling tips there. Yay, I truly appreciate it. You get the Lovers card. I truly appreciate that. Thank you for doing that and for sharing that. And, oh, yeah, hey. And then just a shout out to Renee Rednoir, or Rednor, who is a very frequent commenter. And how you doing, Renee? Totally appreciate you. There you go. 7 of Swords. Don't let them steal your stuff, Renee. Go out there and get them. If you see someone circling around something that's important to you, you let them have it, Renee. You right? And for the rest of us, thank you so much for sticking around to the end. And we get the 3 of Cups. Yeah. Hopefully, we will be celebrating soon, maybe in 3 months, right? I mean, Trump's been in office, what now? 5 months? Not even that. God, it seems like 5 years, doesn't it? God. Hang in there, folks. Let's get through this together. Talk to you soon. Bye.